Hey guys, this is Mike coming at you from my house today. I'm not doing a trade-in video. I told y'all weeks ago that I was going to do maybe some magazines, show you some like I did with the JCPenney catalog, the 1981 Christmas one. Well, I've got my favorite magazine in the 90s. It was kind of ran from the early 90s to the mid, maybe 96. I can't remember exactly, 97-ish. Was Die Hard Game Fan. It was so good. It was thick. It had tons of reviews. If you see how many I got right here, I probably have 10 times this amount, and I go through them. Like some of these covers: Sonic, Fighting Force. This is a Wave Race. So there's And so, sorry about that little interruption there, but I'm going to go through every now and then. I'm going to go through an issue for a few minutes. Like I'm going to go through this issue is December of '95. So the Saturn had been out since May of '95. The PlayStation 1 had been out for a couple of months. The 3DO had been out for a year, and they were just starting to talk about the N64. So let me start flipping through this magazine with you guys. We'll start from the front. So as you could see, what was active back then: PlayStation, Saturn, 32X. I love that right there. Not the N64. They didn't know the name yet. The Ultra 64. I kind of like that better. I always like Nintendo's code names better. Like Revolution instead of Wii. Stuff like that. So Neo Geo, 3DO, Jaguar, Super, Virtual Boy, Genesis. Imagine if you if you were alive during that time. It wasn't that long ago, but man, it was tough to decide because you couldn't own them all, even though I did almost. I wasn't dumb enough to buy the Jaguar or the Virtual Boy. So let's go through some of these here real quick. All right, I'm gonna skip over a lot of it, but just now that was this thing was called Monitor. It was on the cover a lot. That was kind of its Die Hard Game Fan. There it is. Its mascot, and these are all the reviewers for the magazine. Got some ads here. Old Gex, he was everywhere back then. I love this game, Warhawk. It was one of the first kind of 3D flying. You could go everywhere. Let's see what the top 10 most wanted is. Reader's Top 10, Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong, Battle Arena, Toshinden, that was a launch title. Chrono Trigger, a lot of Super still on top. Ridge Racer, yeah, a lot of cool stuff there. Not a whole lot of Saturn, 2 Saturn games in there. And here's some. Now, what surprised me, and I kind of remember it this way. There was so many games that came out every month back then. It was crazy. Warhawk, 98 across the board there in 97. I 100% agree with that. That was an amazing game. Let's see what they said real quick about Warhawk. Is so good that it will most likely turn everyone who plays it into a devoted PlayStation worshippers. Yeah, I agree. Then we had Twisted Metal, another. That's the first one. Great game. Destruction Derby. I loved it. I would have gave it probably a 90. Solar Eclipse. Let's see what else is here. Captain Quasar. That's some 3DO stuff coming on here. BC Racers. Toy Story for the Genesis is still hanging in there. Look, Jack Bros for the Virtual Boy. That's probably the highest dollar title there are. Polestar for the Neo Geo. They even had Neo Geo reviews in here, which was awesome. The Neo Geo, the Blazing Star is my favorite shooter. It's the number, Polestar's second. See Golden Axe, Twin Bee, you never see that game, or Hermie Hopperhead, forget about it. So there's quite a few reviews here. Let's see what, look, is that Ice Cube? Pushing the Saturn, looks like it. Sex, drugs, violence, cool stuff here. Let's see. Vector Man ad. There's a Twisted Metal ad. Hit pedestrians, outrun police cars, and get gunned down. Yeah, that's fun. Okay, Earthworm Jim. That's a letter to the, no, it's the
readers' letters. The editor's letters was pretty good. He's a 3DO was still kicking. Boy, it was on its, it was about, once that PlayStation came out, it was pretty much over for the 3DO. And here's the reviews for each one. But that's one thing about this magazine. It has so many pictures in it, where it had double the pictures. I don't know who that is, Yuri Gagarin or somebody like that. But it had so many pictures in it. It was, what I loved about it. So you could get a better idea, because you couldn't get on the internet and look up stuff. So it gave you an idea. Okay, I see what this game is about. If you look at Game Pros or something like that, it was harder. They weren't as, this magazine was more unbiased. You could tell. Look, wipe out the game. Look like they might be doing a few too many extracurricular things there. Legacy of Kain. Just some cool stuff here. Saturn section. But one of my favorite things about these, let's see, hey, we can save 65% if you subscribe. Still has the subscription thing at 3DO. Probably only one 3DO game page in here. It was about done. The 3DO Zone, Jaguar, excuse me. PO'd. That was a really cool game for the time. Totally underrated, but you probably couldn't play it that well now. Not as much fun. Let's go to the back of the magazine. One thing I loved about these magazines back then was, once you go to the back, you had ads. Like this was Planet Games, and this was how much you could buy the games for. And look at the Action Replay. That's so you could play the imports on your Saturn, American Saturn. And now this is Funko. Look, Funko Land right here. I must have sold. That's how in the early 90s, you couldn't trade games anywhere locally. So you shipped them off to Funko Land and you bought something else. And they were always, there's some pricing on it. Let's see how much some of these games are real quick. Look at that, 1942, $5. Let's see if there's something crazy on here. What else we got here? Go down the aisle. By then, the NES was, not only dead, it was probably the deadest it had ever been. Kid Icarus, $5. Everything was $5. Mega Mans were still a little high there. Punch Out, $4. Let's see if they have a Mike Tyson Punch Out. Maybe they were just calling it Punch Out. Yeah, it is cool, isn't it? Let's see if they have Contra over here. Contra, $7. Yeah, everything's cheap. That is so cool. And that's the price they give, that's the price you buy it for. And they had another price they'd give you for it, so that's really neat. I love that. Die Hard Game Fan Club. I gotta be a member. Let's see what these prices are. Used 3DO games with 3 games, $189. They were desperate. Let's see what else is here. Good stuff. I love it. So that's issue December 95, volume 3, issue 12. So we might do another one of that. If you like it, give me a comment and see if you want me to go slower, or if you want me to focus on reviews, read a little bit more. So all right guys, thanks a lot.